Hi everyone, this is Laura, and I have a real quick project share for you. One of my subbies has emailed me, and she really would like to get into layering. She saw some of the layouts that I did with the this and that collection, the boy pages, and she messaged me asking me if I can give her some pointers on. She wants to do layering, she wants to do layouts, but she's not quite sure how to go about it. So I messaged her back and I asked her, well, what was some of the items that she wanted to use? Because I think one of the best ways to start doing something like that is stick to a product that you're comfortable with and then work with that until you get more comfortable with other products, like I did with my cousin Yuka when I went to her house and showed her how to do her layers. And I hope that you guys saw her first video of her first layout that she made using lots of different mediums and stuff and layers on NBG Crafts. That's her YouTube channel. Um, and this is for another friend. And she messaged me back and told me that she really wanted to use her Cricut a lot more, her Cricut machine, which she does not get to use as often as she did. So I promised her that I would do a simple layered layout using the Cricut just to give her some ideas. And of course, this is my beautiful little mermaid that I always put out here when I'm going to have a chit chat with you guys. So let me move my little beautiful mermaid that my birthday twinnie made for me. I love her so much. Um, and let me bring out that little project share for you. And I really hope that this helps her out. Now, this layout I made using the die cuts with a view cartridge. I did not put a title to this page yet because I don't have a picture here. And I usually, for those guys who have seen my videos on Santana L, I mean Luyando L, and also on this new channel. This is an extremely simple layout for Laura because I usually have a whole bunch of stuff. That's my problem. I usually don't know when to stop. And so my friend here has helped me um, because this was a challenge for me. Learning how to, I got to go back and learn how to do layouts without so many items on the page. So I used the Luxurious Stack by Diecuts with a View, and this paper here that I used, I bought this like so long ago from Target. I can't even tell you which collection it was. It was one of my favorite papers too that I found there. Old. I'm talking about like 5, 6 years old. Okay, so real quick for my friend, since she didn't want me to say her name, um, this is what I did first. And of course, it's all a process. First, I took 3 pieces of paper that I knew for sure that I wanted to work with. Um, and one of them was this background sheet you see here, this green crackles one you see here, and also a very large piece of black cardstock, a 12 by 12 piece. And then I just happened to also incorporate some green cardstock that I found that is exactly the same color as the paper that I used here, which I used it here, and then I have a piece of I want to say light brown cardstock or beige that I used here. And I used it here, but I distressed all this with inks, so it looks a lot darker than it really was. So real quick, what I did first, excuse me, is that I took that paper, and I don't know if you guys can see the effect on this paper, but it looks crackled and distressed, and I love it, love it. So I took a piece and I ripped it and I glued it down here, and I glued another piece here, so both ends look like they're torn. I distressed it with some uh, tea dye, and then for my friend, what I did was another nice way to layer without having to go through a lot of fuss and muss is your stamps. Especially if you have anything with like swirls, squiggles, anything that complements your page. And that's what I did here. You can see all those different stamps that I used. I just used colors that I thought would complement my page, and what I did was I stamped a whole bunch of must here and a whole bunch over here. And this one I even waited till I already glued down my little journal spot and I stamped on top of it just to give it some more of those layered looks. Um, I cut out 3 butterflies on my Cricut cartridge using one of my favorite Cricut cartridges of all time, which is the Sentimentals cartridge. Um, and that's what this one looks like right here. And every time I look at this cartridge, it reminds me of my friend Sharon, who loves her little owls. um, yeah, so what I did was, oh, another thing that I wanted to review real quick for my friend is, um, she told me she also has a problem on her Cricut machine when she cuts stuff because she never knows the exact measurements. And I want to go over that in case you have not seen this on another YouTube video. When you want to know more or less, and you just want a guesstimation here of how big your die cut is going to be, when you look at your Cricut book, instead of looking at it this way, which would be the normal way, this is the landscape way. What you want to do is you want to look at your book in the portrait position, which is upright, standing in front of you here like this. And then what you want to do is you want to think about how big your die cut's going to be from here to here, because that's how it's going to lay on your mat, and that's how it's going to cut. It's going to cut just like this. So when they give you this boxed image here, imagine this is your 12 by 12 paper, okay? And this is how your image is going to lay when it cuts. So let's say, for instance, you want a 3-inch butterfly. Your 3 inches will be from the highest point here to the lowest point here. It will not be 3 inches this way. So when you think about it, if I was to cut out this butterfly 3 inches this way, it could very possibly come out to be 6 inches long this way. So make sure that you add those extra inches just in case you want to fit it on the layout, because although you're cutting it out 3 inches this way, there is a big wingspan here, and your 3-inch butterfly may actually turn out to be a 6-inch butterfly. So I hope I didn't confuse the heck out of you with that explanation. But let me see if I can find something a little simpler. Um, oh, I wanted something long and skinny just to give you an idea. Okay, got one. See, like this little cute lamp? As you can see, they always give you that 12 by 12. So let's just suppose this is your white piece of paper, and you wanted to cut out this little lamp, but you wanted your lamp to be 5 inches long. Just know that when you put it in your cartridge, it's going to be 5 inches from here to here. And then the width might be about 2 inches maybe, because of the size of the lampshade. So know that the width would be here to here, and then you just have to kind of eye it and guesstimate and know that the lampshade would be a little wider, um, and the base over here. So I hope that's making sense. If this doesn't make any sense to you, sweetie, just email me again, and I'll be happy to either Skype with you or call you and explain it. I hope I'm explaining it well. But any case, I cut out 3 butterflies, and I had cut this one out at 2.5 inches, this one at 3.5 inches, and I believe this one was 3 inches, or the opposite, 3.5 and 3. But I know they were 2.5, 3.5, and 3. So the butterflies themselves come with layers. And what I do first is I cut them all out, I glue them together, I distress them, and I decorate them. And as you can see, with this butterfly here on top, I have 2 rhinestones and a button that I broke off the shank to. I hot glued them on my little butterfly, and then over here the little dots I made was using stickles, and I used a lot of stickles for those dots just to give it some dimension. And I also put stickles on the outer lining of my butterflies. And this also will give you a nice layering effect um, on your projects. And with this one, I just added 3 clear dewdrops for the body, and again I just added some stickles along the wings for added dimension. And then over here on this one, I happen to find an acrylic flower, and I happen to have some rhinestones that were the exact same color of the flower, so I added those. Um, and then I added some stickles here and to the little bottom of the tail. And as you can see, each flower, each butterfly I did differently. This one I covered the whole outer lining or the outline of this butterfly with stickles. This one I only did the wings, and this one I only did the body and the antennas. And then what I did was I made this layout for a 5x7 photo, which I don't do that often. And I cut out the black photo mat 5x7, and or I think I did it 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 to fit the photo, and then I just made the mat for the black cardstock a little bit bigger. I added 3 rhinestones here and 3 rhinestones here, and then over here I just added a simple quote on a piece of vellum that I have, and I just added that to the bottom of the page, and it says happiness comes to those who seek it. um, and that's basically it. It's a simple layout, and I just used stamps. And you told me, oh, the journal spot. This also came from my Cricut cartridge, the Sentimentals cartridge, and it's a little card shape. So I just cut it out at 3 inches or 2.5 inches rather, and then I just drew some lines in. I distressed it with the tea dye, and I also distressed it with my olive distressings and the picket fence, and I also added some stickles to the corners. Um, Normally I would have probably put a brad or a little tiny pearl, but I wanted to keep it simple for my friends who had asked. So as you can see, you can make a great layout, and you don't need a lot of embellishments, especially if you don't have them. Just a few little decorations for your center of your butterflies if you wanted to. You didn't even have to do that, but basically some stamps, some die cut images, and a photo mat with a little thing on the bottom, and you're all done. And I will put a title on this. That's why I left this blank here, or coming this way. I just don't usually do layouts without photos, and so since I don't know what the photo is going to be yet, I left it without a title. So I hope this helps you, sweetheart. I want everyone to have a blessed day and enjoy the day off with your children today who are off from school. I just want to say happy Yom Kippur to all my Jewish friends out there, and I hope everyone has a blessed day. Bye now.